Raising kids can feel like navigating a maze without a map, especially when you're in the spotlight, balancing family life with a busy career and public presence. For Zach and Tori Roloff, stars of the popular reality show Little People, Big World, life with their children Jackson, Layla, and their new baby is no different. As parents, they've faced the challenges that come with raising kids while maintaining their close-knit family dynamic, all while providing a nurturing and supportive environment for their children. In the course of their parenting journey, Zach and Tori have discovered a powerful tool, a trick that has helped them connect with their children in ways that go beyond the ordinary. It's not a secret passed down through generations or a groundbreaking parenting theory. It's something much simpler but incredibly effective. Their trick? To understand their secret trick, it's important to first understand the Roloff family dynamics. While much of their lives have been shared with fans, there is still an intimacy within their home that many families can relate to, even if their own circumstances are different. Zach and Tori's commitment to maintaining a close family unit is evident in the way they handle everything from everyday challenges to more significant moments of growth. They focus on spending quality time together, ensuring that each of their kids knows they are loved, heard, and valued. In a world full of distractions, social media, busy work schedules, and constant external noise, Zach and Tori make it a priority to nurture their relationships with their children. This intentional effort is a big part of the reason why their secret trick works so well. At the heart of the Roloff family's approach is creating an open and safe space where their children feel comfortable expressing themselves. Zach and Tori recognize that children are often reluctant to talk about their feelings, especially as they grow older. Whether it's concerns about school, relationships with peers, or their emotions, kids tend to bottle things up when they don't feel safe or supported in their environment. Zach and Tori's secret trick is simple. They make sure that their kids know they are always there to listen, no judgment, no distractions. They found that listening, truly listening, is the first step in getting their children to open up. When their children, especially Jackson, have something on their mind, Zach or Tori take the time to sit down with them, without any distractions. Whether it's at the dinner table or during their bedtime routine, they make sure the environment is calm and conducive to open conversation. They know that having a dedicated space to talk about their feelings, without interruptions or judgment, fosters trust and understanding. Another aspect of the Roloff family's secret trick is their active encouragement of emotional expression. Growing up in a society that sometimes discourages boys, in particular, from being emotionally expressive, Zach and Tori place great importance on teaching their children that it's okay to feel things deeply and share those feelings. They model emotional vulnerability themselves, showing their kids that it's okay to express happiness, frustration, sadness, or even fear. This openness sets an example for Jackson and Layla, who learn that emotions are a normal part of life, and that talking about them is not a weakness but a strength. Zach and Tori have also discovered the importance of little rituals that help facilitate conversation. One of their favorite rituals is a weekly family meeting, where they gather around the table and talk about their week. It's a time to share highs and lows, but it's also a time for each person to ask questions or express something that's been on their mind. These family meetings aren't forced or overly structured. They keep them light and informal, allowing each member to share what they feel comfortable sharing. It could be something as simple as Jackson talking about his favorite part of the week, or Layla sharing her excitement about a new milestone she's reached. These meetings create a consistent opportunity for open dialogue, and everyone knows that they are welcome to contribute. Another important part of their family dynamic is the bedtime ritual. Tori and Zach have always made it a point to spend one-on-one time with each of their children before bed, and this quiet, intimate time becomes an opportunity for the children to open up about anything that's on their mind. It's a space where their children know they won't be rushed or interrupted, and it allows them to freely express their thoughts and emotions. The Roloff parents lead by example. Their children aren't just encouraged to share their feelings, but they also learn the importance of respecting each other's emotions. Zach and Tori show them that communication isn't just about talking but also about listening, truly listening, to each other. When Jackson expresses his concerns about something at school, Zach doesn't just listen. He asks questions to help Jackson process his feelings and work through solutions. Tori does the same when Layla has something on her mind. Their active listening and thoughtful responses help their children understand that it's not just about talking but about being heard and understood. In their approach to discipline, Zach and Tori also emphasize communication. They don't rely solely on rules and consequences. Instead, they engage in conversations with their kids to explain why certain behaviors are unacceptable and what can be done to correct them. This approach helps their children understand the reasons behind their actions and the importance of making responsible choices. One of the most powerful ways the Roloffs foster communication with their kids is through play and creative activities. Zach and Tori believe that engaging with their children in creative play allows them to build a deeper connection. Whether it's playing a game together, doing arts and crafts, or going on a family hike, these activities provide opportunities for casual conversation and bonding. Play allows the Roloff children to express themselves in ways they might not be able to in more formal settings. It breaks down the walls of structured conversations and opens up a space for natural, unforced interaction. For example, when playing pretend games with Jackson and Layla, Tori might ask questions about the characters they're playing, giving them a chance to express their emotions or thoughts through their imaginative play. Zach and Tori also encourage their kids to engage in creative outlets, such as drawing or writing, as a way to process their emotions. Jackson has recently become more interested in drawing, and he often shares his artwork with his parents, explaining what each piece means to him. This kind of creative expression provides another avenue for communication. As public figures, the Roloffs are constantly navigating the balance between sharing their lives with the world and keeping certain aspects of their family life private. They are very intentional about how much they share on social media and what they keep to themselves. Zach and Tori believe that it's important to create boundaries for their kids, especially when it comes to their emotional and personal lives. While they openly share many moments with their fans, they are also mindful of protecting their children's privacy. They teach Jackson and Layla the importance of setting personal boundaries and respecting others' privacy, both online and offline. By modeling this behavior, Zach and Tori show their kids that not everything needs to be shared with the world, and that there's power in maintaining some aspects of their lives as private and sacred. One of the underlying principles behind the Roloffs' secret trick to getting their kids to open up is flexibility. Parenting isn't a one-size-fits-all approach, and each child is different. Zach and Tori recognize that what works for Jackson might not work for Layla, and they adapt their methods accordingly. They are not rigid in their expectations or techniques. Instead, they remain open-minded and responsive to their children's individual needs. This flexibility allows them to foster a nurturing environment where their children feel safe enough to open up and express themselves authentically. The Roloff family's secret trick to getting their kids to open up isn't complicated or revolutionary. It's simply about being present, listening with empathy, and creating a space where open communication is welcomed. Through intentional moments of connection, playful activities, and consistent emotional support, Zach and Tori have cultivated an environment where their children feel heard, understood, and loved. In a world that often prioritizes achievement over emotional well-being, the Roloffs serve as a reminder that the most important thing we can do as parents is to be there for our children, to listen without judgment, and to create a space where they feel safe to express their thoughts and emotions. By doing so, we can raise children who are not only successful but also emotionally healthy, confident, and equipped to navigate the world with empathy and understanding. The Roloff family, widely known from Little People, Big World, has shared many of their life's highs and lows with the world. Over the years, they have opened their doors to millions, showing what it's like to live with dwarfism, run a farm, and navigate family relationships in the public eye. But among all the experiences they have shared, one particular moment stood out as truly terrifying. It was an event that changed them forever, reminding them of the fragility of life and the strength of family bonds. Life on the farm had always been a mix of hard work and heartwarming moments. On this particular day, everything seemed ordinary. The sun was shining over the vast pumpkin patches, the animals were busy in their enclosures, and the family was preparing for another day of farm activities. Matt Roloff, always the visionary, was working on a new project, while Amy was tending to the household and helping with preparations for an upcoming event. Zach and Tori were spending time with their children, enjoying the peaceful surroundings of the farm. The younger kids ran around, laughing and playing, their innocent joy filling the air. But then, without warning, the tranquility shattered. It started subtly, something felt off. It was one of those moments where a gut feeling creeps in, but you can't immediately identify why. Maybe it was the sudden change in the atmosphere, the eerie quiet that settled over the farm, or just an unshakable sense of unease. Suddenly, a scream echoed through the property. It was sharp, filled with panic. Everyone froze. For a split second, time seemed to stand still before chaos erupted. The scream came from near one of the barns. Matt and Amy, along with the rest of the family, rushed toward the sound, their hearts pounding. As they reached the source, they were met with a sight that made their blood run cold. There, lying motionless on the ground, was one of their own. The details blurred in the chaos. But one thing was clear, this was serious. Someone had been injured, and they weren't moving. Panic set in. Voices overlapped as the family called out, trying to get a response. Tori's hands trembled as she reached for her phone to call for help. Zach knelt down, his face pale, whispering words of reassurance. Amy, usually the rock of the family, felt her strength falter as she grasped Matt's hand tightly. The wait for medical assistance felt like an eternity. Every second dragged on, stretching into an unbearable limbo. The children, sensing the gravity of the situation, clung to each other, their eyes wide with fear. When the paramedics finally arrived, they wasted no time. The family watched helplessly as their loved one was assessed and stabilized. Questions filled the air. What happened? How bad was it? Would they be okay? The ride to the hospital was a blur. Amy and Matt rode together, their minds racing. The hospital waiting room, with its sterile white walls and harsh fluorescent lights, felt suffocating. They held on to each other, trying to remain strong for the rest of the family. Doctors and nurses moved quickly, their faces calm but serious. Tests were run, scans were taken, and the family was left waiting, caught between hope and fear. Hours passed, each minute heavier than the last. Finally, a doctor approached with an update. The news was mixed. There was hope, but the road to recovery would be long. The injury was severe but not fatal, a relief wrapped in uncertainty. Tears flowed freely as the family processed the information. The relief of knowing their loved one would survive was immense, but the realization of what lay ahead was daunting. Over the following days, they took turns at the hospital, offering support, sharing stories, and trying to keep spirits high. The experience had shaken them to their core, but it also reaffirmed something important: family was everything. Returning home was bittersweet. The farm, once a place of warmth and joy, now carried the shadow of that terrifying day. But the Roloffs were nothing if not resilient. They knew that healing would take time, not just physically, but emotionally. Conversations shifted to gratitude. The experience had reminded them of life's unpredictability and the importance of cherishing every moment. They shared their fears, their hopes, and most importantly, their love for each other. The scariest moment of their lives had tested them in ways they never imagined. But in that fear, they found strength. In the face of uncertainty, they clung to hope. And in the end, they emerged closer than ever. The Roloff family had faced many challenges before, but this one left a lasting mark. It was a reminder that no matter how tough life gets, they would always have each other. And that was enough to face whatever came next. Zach Roloff, the beloved son of Matt and Amy Roloff, has been a key figure on the reality TV show Little People, big world for over a decade. Fans have followed his journey from childhood to adulthood, seeing his personal and professional milestones unfold on screen. Zach's journey has inspired millions of people, especially those